In Alien Earth, I half-jokingly claimed earlier in the season that the xenomorphs were the good guys, but I must admit that I'm beginning to believe it more and more. In Episode 6, The Fly, which builds on last week's excellent adaptation of the original film, Prodigy's technological fantasies are portrayed as an unavoidable prison where the only thing worth bartering for those with all the money in the world is life, whether it be human or otherwise. It is a profoundly repressive and heartbreaking hour. You're usually cheering against the aliens in alien movies, but the majority of the cast always dies, and that process starts here with two major deaths. One by a classic facehugger, and the other by an acid-blooded fat mosquito parasite. I don't think so, at least not here. The impending xenomorph bloodbath feels like Boy Cavalier and his foul-smelling bare feet's long overdue retribution and a welcome catharsis. My support is for the Xeno, and strangely enough, so is Wendy. Throughout The Fly, Wendy keeps swooning over the developing xenomorph with whom she is now associated. However, this shouldn't be shocking because, at least intellectually, she is still a child. It appears that she has a pet. She obviously does not consider it to be an apex predator. Her pal is there. This is why Boy uses children as his technologically sophisticated gophers. He can persuade them of anything. Though Hermit is less persuaded, what authority does he have in this situation? He doesn't even own his own lungs, much less his sister's intellect, which has been transferred into Prodigy's property. Furthermore, he is naive in his perfect family fantasy. It's cruel, but probably true, that Kirsch makes fun of the notion that Wendy could ever lead a normal life and be someone's family again. She is an eternal superpowered android with a childlike mind and an alien pet. How much better could he possibly hope for? And he has no true allies. Even those who appear to have a strong moral compass have a limit to how much empathy they can muster due to the overwhelming force of boys. This is demonstrated when Adam orders Dame Sylvia and her husband, Arthur, to delete all of Nibs's memories in an attempt to resolve whatever psychological problems her time in New Saigon may have caused with her programming. The announcement that Nibs is pregnant threatens the launch of a Lost Boy product. Arthur contends that it is rather unethical to soft reboot a human consciousness, but Dame Sylvia disagrees. The squeeze isn't worth the juice. This undoubtedly has a good explanation, but it isn't provided in Alien Earth Episode 6, as Arthur is saddled with a facehugger before he can discuss it with his wife. Not only that, but there's still a real chance that Nibs is pregnant. Xenomorphs have a tendency to roll like that, and if Prodigy's technology is as sophisticated as they claim, it is not impossible for a Lost Boy body to gestate an extraterrestrial. Boy's excitement for owning the Xenos is more akin to a child's yearning to own something that someone else wants. But you'd think that given how much care Prodigy is giving to their research, they should have taken this into consideration. There's a lengthy scene when he and Yutani argue about who gets to keep the contents of the wrecked Maginot, and for how long. It's really wonderful drama, but it's also incredibly accurate. People who have everything constantly want more, and life becomes into money when money has. The wild cards are the only thing we can depend on. Although Hermit may qualify as one, there is a limit to the harm he can do because he is currently so emotionally reliant on Wendy's welfare and so ingrained in Prodigy. An excellent candidate for troublemaking is Morrow, who is still trying to control slightly so that there is enough mayhem in the facility for Yutani to reclaim her aliens. However, Kirsch may be the true anomaly because he is able to observe what is happening right in front of Boy and obviously has his own rebellious goal. Although Toodles is the victim in this episode, everyone else will be at risk in the next ones. Regardless, Boy's tenure as the leader is coming to an end, perhaps soon. My support for the aliens is stronger